better? Can you hear me? That can be out. This is fine? Okay. Assalamu alaikum. Can anybody hear me? Can you hear me? Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulullah. وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. As you know that Dr. Badawi, inshallah, will give this course, which is basically about tazkiyah. And we're going to, inshallah, explain what tazkiyah means. I will be giving this one, and the next one, inshallah, after this, he will take over. Personally, I think this is the most important subject for any one of us. ولا ركز معايا شيخ اسماعيل اضرب الولد ابو قميص ازرق ده خطه على فوق. طب خلاص سيبه. طيب. If you go back in the history, Sayyidina Ibrahim made a dua. And the Prophet said, I am da'wat Abi Ibrahim. I am the supplication or the dua of Prophet Ibrahim. What exactly the dua of Sayyidina Ibrahim? He said like this, رَبَّنَا وَابْعَثْ فِيهِمْ Ya Allah, my Lord, send to them, the people of Arabia, رَسُولًا مِنْهُمْ, a messenger from within. To do what? يتلو عليهم آياتك ويعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة ويزكيهم. This is da'wah of Sayyidina Ibrahim. It started with what? يعلمهم الكتاب والحكمة ويزكيهم. يعلم means teach. الكتاب means the book of Allah, the Quran. الحكمة is the sunnah of the Prophet or the wisdom. And then ويزكيهم. التزكية, I'm going to explain it, what is the root word and so on. And then Allah accepted his dua, but he changed the sequence. Which one first and which one second? See what Allah said? لَقَدْ مَنَّ اللَّهُ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ إِذْ بَعَثَ فِيهِمْ رَسُولًا مِنْ أَنفُسِهِمْ يَتْلُو عَلَيْهِمْ آيَاتِهِ وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ and then وَيُعَلِّمُهُم. Sayyidina Ibrahim asked for يُعَلِّمُهُم and then وَيُزَكِّيهِم. Allah accepts the dua, but corrected the sequence. Start with tazkiyah and then go to ta'lim. Ta'lim means educate, right? Why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala change the sequence from يُعَلِّمُهُم وَيُزَكِّيهِم to يُزَكِّيهِم وَيُعَلِّمُهُم? Anybody wants to help me? Wake up, for heaven's sake. That's what Sayyidina Ibrahim asked for, ta'lim first. But Allah put it as clear first. نعم. Okay, beautiful. You have shuyukh that great scholar, but the inside is not that good. So I think it doesn't work. It doesn't contribute. If you don't have someone that his inside is so pure and correct, then he can talk from here until tomorrow. It doesn't make much of a difference. And inshallah, we'll get to this about how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did himself the tazkiyah for Sayyidina Muhammad until he said, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. You are holding a very high place in the moral character. Then the first thing is Allah corrected Sayyidina Ibrahim from وَيُعَلِّمْ وَيُزَكِّي, from ta'lim and then tazkiyah to tazkiyah and then ta'lim. Right? You can look at the Western world and say we have lots of focus on First, let me give what tazkiyah means first. Anybody wants to help? If you have an answer to it, what does tazkiyah mean? Just tell me I do not know, right? And I'll say it, right? Like, the word zakah has a few meanings. One of them is anma, make it get bigger and bigger, right? Zakah nama, what with purity. Yeah, and the difference between to get bigger and to grow is one thing, but to grow with purity, that is zakah. So when you pay the zakah, your money grows with purity. And then, inshallah, it will become a big investment in zakah. طيب. When you have a fruit and the fruit becomes ripe and very good, it looks great, but you say zakat, أصبحت زاكية. If your own mom cooks and you're waiting for the food to finish, and say, mom, this is zaki, this is delicious, this is ripe, all right, they will cook, right? Also, when you say to yourself, alhamdulillah, I'm a very good person, that's called yuzakki nafsu. He says, I'm a good person, that's tazkiyah. And Allah doesn't like this, by the way. This is the word zakah. Is zakah بقى التزكية when you work on yourself to take away the impurity and put, it's called التخلية and تحلية. التخلية remove the things that Allah does not like and put the software that Allah likes. This is tazkiyah. Each one of us has a program that's living by. You have ideas, you have thinking. This thinking and this idea that occupying your head is your own software. If this software is full of something that Allah loves and remove from it things that Allah hates, then this is a software that is zaki, right? And then eventually you are one of those who are winners in the dunya and in the hereafter. The beautiful thing about tazkiyat al-nafs is that the reward is in the dunya and the hereafter, not only in the hereafter. If you are a person that has the tazkiyat al-nafs, people love to be around you. People love you as a person. People want to be around you. And also, there's something in your face that attracts people. This person is pure. This person is wonderful. And then so on. You can see it in his or her face, but also on top of this, in the day of judgment, you will find out the results, right? When the Prophet said, "Addabani Rabbi fa'ahsana ta'dibi," my Lord disciplined me, and He did a great job in taking care of me. And Allah said, وَإِنَّكَ لَعَلَى خُلُقٍ عَظِيمٍ. You are, Ya Muhammad, you are holding the highest level of moral character, right? If you say, how did Sayyidina Muhammad reach this level? If you go study his, which I really highly recommend, is study the way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took care of him from A1 until, from the very beginning, since he was born all the way. You remember quickly that as soon as he was born, his father died before he was born. And then his mother took him for a few months and then handed him to Halima Sa'diyya for about 4 years. Came back and she kept him again for a while. And then once he is with his mom, then she took him to visit his his father's grave in Medina, which was Yathrib at that time. He went with her, and in the way back, she got sick, and he had to help dig the ground to bury his mom. And Ayman said, he looked at me and said, are we going to leave her here after he put her in the grave? He goes, be with his father, grandfather Abdul Muttalib, a year and a half, and Abu Talib died. And then go to Abu Talib. And you know the story from there, as if Allah saying, your heart your safety, your security is only attached when your heart attaches to Allah, not to human being, right? So this is, and of course, after this, there's so many incidents how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took care of his prophet until he became a person. Even before the message of Allah, he was considered al-Amin, al-Sadiq. Everybody loves, when there was a big issues about the black stone after they took the Kaaba down and after rebuilt it, where we're going to put the black stone. All the tribes said, like, we should, no, we should. And there was like almost a war. And they said, we gonna take the ruling or the judgment of the first person to come in. Who was the first person? Was Sayyidina Muhammad. And then he was not a prophet yet. But the good thing is, which I want you to pay attention to, is when they all they said that the first one that come in would be the judge. And when it was him, you know what? A sigh of relief, and everyone said, like, Al-Amin. All right? So think of this. He reached the point before becoming a prophet that he was looked at as Al-Amin, right? No one was ever capable or able to say something negative about him. Why? Because it will be a big lie. And we can go about his seerah some other time. But he was taken care of under the banner of وَلِتُصْنَعَ عَلَىٰ عَيْنِي. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said the same thing about Sayyidina Musa and Sayyidina Muhammad. وَلِتُصْنَعَ Ya Muhammad, you are here under my direct supervision, right? We are living in the Western world, where unfortunately the age that you are in, the time that you're living in, is not the time when my children was your age, or the challenge is quite different. Why? The whole society is so much indulged with materialistic things, right? And the challenges that you guys facing is way more than when my children was in the junior high and elementary school and so on. I didn't have the challenge that with them that you're having with the society, and the values and what's going around us is very different. That's why this kind of a challenge, I don't want to get into it, but the abnormal is becoming normal. The crooked thinking becomes okay. The thing is that is filthy becomes progressive. There's so many things that's upside down, and you are facing this. If you do not have tazkiyah, I do not know how we can face the challenge. We have young people that claim to be atheists. We have among our community some LGBT, some involved in this and some involved in this. We started seeing things that was unthinkable. It was now happening, right? So you need to say to yourself, yeah, I have to be ready. I have to be ready for the challenge, right? Right. Let me go back to when you were 4 months old in your mother's womb. That's when your soul is born into your body, right? Before this, you're just like a piece of meat that is growing, right? And when this ruh is being born into the embryo, you become a human being, right? We have a ruh, we have a nafs, we have the body. The body perishes. As soon as you die, in a few months, your body will be disintegrated. You will be, it will perish, with just some bones and kind of thing. But one part of you will never die, which is the ruh. The ruh doesn't die, right? It is from Allah. فإذا سويته ونفخت فيه من روحي. يعني once we are in that 4 months period, then comes that so-called divine breath in you, and that does not go away. And that does not die. And that does not get old either. It does not get old or does not die, right? The part of you that is eaten by the worms, right? The, استغفر الله عن الشيخ، خلي حد من الشعب يعمل كده. ولا هو فز جاد وزع بتاع ده. ها؟ يعني مش تخلي عم الشيخ هو اللي يوزع. طيب. ف the side of you which is the physical body, this disappears, this eating. And the first part that's being eaten in the grave is the openings. The worms go to the eyes, the ears, nose, and that's it, right? And in a few months, you're gone, right? But this other part is a ruh that doesn't go anywhere, right? We focus so much on taking care of the physical body, right? And not the one that's lasting forever. Is that exaggeration or that's true? That we focus on the physical body that's going to be eaten by the worms, right? And if you, personally, I was working in the cosmetic industry. I was a senior perfumer, design perfume. The amount of money that's being spent on perfume and cosmetics and whatever it is huge. Why? It's the body, the body, the body. But the part of us that doesn't go anywhere, ruh, does not get that much, right? نعم. أنا مش عارف مين بيتكلم. أيوة يا عم الشيخ. تقول إيه؟ أيوة. The physical body has what? Has food for it. We all expert in the physical part of us, which is what is the most nutritious this thing. What should I eat so my hair will become soft, with my skin will become مش عارف إيه. What should I eat عشان خاطر إيه? We're pretty good with that, right? But when it comes to the most important part of you, of ruh, that doesn't take that much. Even though, if you look at Salah, Zakah, As-Sawm, Al-Hajj, all this activity, Dhikrullah, all designed what? To work on the most important part of you, which is the ruh. The one that in the grave will be polished, and in the day, or in the paradise, the grave could be paradise, and also in the day of judgment will be getting the honor, not only to enjoy what Jannah is all about, but also seeing Allah, which is like, will make you intoxicated for 500 years after seeing Allah's face in Jannah. Cannot believe I saw Allah, right? So all this stuff, we don't pay too much attention. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes and put all of us in a so-called camp for tazkiyah camp, which coming to you exactly in 2 months, in Ramadan. And I hope that you take this course that Dr. Badawi will give as serious as possible, in such a way that you use this coming Ramadan as a highlight, a turning point in your life. Ramadan is a camp designed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He is the one who designed the camp, knowing, yani we are the campers, and He is the creator of the campers. So no one can design a camp that can give us the best results like the one who created. So Allah designed the camp. And the way He designed the camp, He said, I'm going to make, like, say, you have a camp called Camp Weight Watcher or Camp Alcoholics Anonymous, a camp for those who are alcoholic, a camp for those who smoke a lot, a camp for Weight Watcher, camp for people that want to lose weight. ولا بتعمل إيه هذا؟ خذ من التليفون يا. استغفر الله العظيم. الواد بيلعب في التليفون. يعني اسماعيل, just go like this.
I can.
You can?
At my time, yes.
طيب.
I cannot do that.
طيب خلاص. طيب. So every camp is designed to achieve a certain goal, right? Every camp is designed to achieve a certain goal. And Allah's camp that's coming down your way in a couple of months exactly is designed to get you in the area of tazkiyat nafs. How? He takes away certain things that are challenging you. He chained the shayateen. Shayateen are shackled or chained. And he forces your nafs not to eat, not to drink, not to do this and that. So, because it's Allah, so you don't do it. And the scholar says if you do not do something for 21 days, it becomes a habit. It becomes easy to continue with it, right? And the social science also, if you want to gain a habit, do it for 21 days. For example, if your salah is lousy, right? You're not focused. You say Allah Akbar, up or down, but your mukh for in other area. And you say like, okay, Ramadan is coming. This is the annual camp by Allah designed for tazkiyah and raising my imani levels. Then inshallah, that will be the challenge. I have no relationship with the Quran. Ramadan is coming. I'm going to start preparing from now to achieve my goal. I'm using bad words, lousy vocabulary that some of us has. Inshallah, Ramadan does not allow this. I will do so and so and so. I start considering that. Then this annual camp designed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is basically, but also he gives incentives. Any ibadah in Ramadan, the reward is 70. يا بنت خليكي معايا ضرب على قلبك خليكي معايا 70 times as much. Anything good that you do in Ramadan, the reward is 70 times as much, right? Then he is giving incentive and he's pulling away some of your enemies. So you end up with what? You end up with an easy-going camp that will make you what? Reach the point that Allah loves to see you in, which is nafs muzakkah, right? What is things that you need to put you say like, am I really, do I need tazkiyah or bismillah mashallah, I'm perfect, right? Let us see, right? First one that I mentioned, do you have this kind of khushu' and really connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the salah, which is called as-salah from salah means connection. Is the salah actually a connection between you and Allah or it's empty, right? It is, you find out, I do not know if I prayed 2 or 3 or 4. I don't even remember which surah that I read in the first and second rak'ah. Of course, you guys remember what you read in the third rak'ah. Surah Al-Fatiha. أسمع الله عليك بسم الله ما شاء الله. طيب الواد ده يتحسد. طيب then I need to work on my salah. My salah is not that good. Then be honest with yourself. My salah is not that good. طيب where's my relationship with the Quran? I'm not saying go memorize 2-3 juz. I'm just saying pick a surah, pick Surah Al-Kahf, pick Surah Yasin, pick Surah Al-Nur, pick Surah Al-Hujurat. One of these surahs that has a lot of weight in it and say, I'm going to go in depth in this surah from now until I develop the love of Allah's book, right? There's so much, we have a poor relationship with the Quran, right? And that is a very sad thing. To be honest with you, if you have a choice between memorizing 5 juz or understanding one surah in depth, go understand one surah in depth because it's going to develop the taste for Allah's book, right? Right. Where do we stand with visiting the cemetery? I took a group of girls in the halaqah and I took them to what's his name? Not Tina. المقبرة فين؟ توتوا. In Totua. And then I told each one of them, first I told them, go find how many between age bracket 20 to 30 to 40, 40 to 60, and above 60. Wallahi, the ratio was 1 to 1 to 1. Means like there is nobody, nothing like, I'm too young for that. No, nothing too young for that. The other thing is, I said, go pick one that's born in the same month and the same year and sit down and make dua for her, right? What I want you to do is, I want to connect them to the reality that you might be the one here, right? So arrange for a visit to the cemetery, not once a month, once every few weeks. Why? Because the Prophet said, "Kafa bil mawti wa'iza." Sufficient of a reminder is death. Go visit the cemetery. Don't tell me it is haram. No, I'm giving you fatwa, it's halal, go. But don't go during the janazah or when the men is there. No, just go. The brothers, you go anytime, Habib. There's no problem. Just go, right? Not only this, when you go to sleep, why don't you take just 2 minutes when the lights are off and start thinking of, if this is my last night, because the dua I say, بسمك ربي وضعت جنبي وبك أرفع إن أمسكت نفسي, if you hold my soul فارحمها, have mercy on it, وإن أرسلتها فاحفظها بما تحفظ به عبادك الصالحين. This is the dua. So what I do is, I keep repeating the portion, إن أمسكت نفسي فارحمها, إن أمسكت نفسي فارحمها. I keep repeating. Why? Because I want it to get to my head that might be my last night, right? But do this, right? When you go to sleep, just pause for just 1 minute and then ask yourself, keep making the dua, but also, what did I do good today and what did I do bad today? And then what should I do tomorrow to improve in that area and to stay away from that area? This is a good thing. It's called the muhasaba. The muhasaba means what? To do accountability for yourself, right? Before Rasulullah قال حاسبوا أنفسكم قبل أن تحاسبوا. Do this accountability before the other one, the final accountability, which you cannot say anything. You're just standing for your fate to be decided. Then, where do we stand with dhikrillah, right? Do you know the greatest ibadah that Allah loves more than anything else is dhikrillah. Dhikrillah, يعني, he said, فإذا أفضتم من عرفات فاذكروا الله عند المشعر الحرام واذكروه كذكركم لآبائكم أو أشد ذكرا. طب when you go down from عرفات to مزدلفة, تضحك عليها به كعفريت. طيب ودي حاجة تضحك؟ استغفر الله. ها؟ طيب فوانت when you're going down from Arafat, you know what's happening? You have been doing dhikr non-stop in Arafat. But Allah says, when you come down in Arafat, do dhikr, right? And then every ibadah has numbers. The salah 5 times a day, صح? The hajj once in your lifetime. The zakah once a year. The sawm once a year. The dhikr kathira, non-stop. Actually, if this guy went to Muhammad said, Ya Rasulullah, I want to be with you like this in Jannah. He said, اجعل لسانك رطبا بذكر الله. Make your tongue moist with the remembrance of Allah. Right? Then, what else good about the zikr? خذ من التليفون يا شيخ. خذ من التليفون. مش مركز معي. طيب لبعض. When you do any dhikr, you know what's happening? Shaitan cannot be around you. Shaitan, إذا ذكرت الله خنث. يعني, once you get into remembrance of Allah, خنث means just that he shy away. He cannot be with you. All right? You want to be away from the shaitan? Keep making dhikrullah. Right? What's the big deal? You know what dhikrullah means? For example, astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah is beautiful. Subhanallah wa bihamdi, treasure from the treasures of the throne of Allah. Subhanallah, alhamdulillah, wa la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. Allah will plant a tree, a huge tree in your property in Jannah. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. La ilaha illallah. It will fill your scale more than you would imagine. It is so easy, but you know what? Why we're not doing it? Anybody knows? ولا ما تهرش. Leave the bugs alone. You know why we're not doing it? You know why? Because the shaitan does not want you to get into this. Once you start getting into dhikrullah, he loses, right? And he doesn't want to lose, right? Pay attention to this. Like, one of the $6 million issue is, where do you stand with your parents, alive or dead, right? Where do you stand with them, alive or dead, right? Let's start with dead, right? Wallahi, my father died when I was 13, and my mother after him. I never stopped in any salah making dua for him, not one day, all right? And that is the least I can do, right? There's other things that I can do, right? But that's the least. Their rights does not disappear after death, right? If you really, your parents are the two individuals Allah has personally assigned them to take care of you, right? And if this are the two people assigned by Him, then anyone who touches those who He assigned to you, you are enemy number one to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you get into this, right? Then if when they get older, right, and they become very annoying, right, and they repeat things 10 times. So I don't know if you guys saw this video clip about this guy sitting in a garden, and anybody saw it? Huh? The bird, all right? You want to come and say it?
No.
Then stay there. Then stay there. Type. This old man sitting, and he's telling his son, the bird is, what do you call it? What's the voice of the bird? Tripping, all right? He said, what's this? He said, a bird. So after a few minutes, he forgot. He said to his son, what's this? A bird. Third time, a bird. He said, I told you a bird. So the father got up, he went inside, and he got his journal when his son, the big guy, was little. And he said that, read. So he started reading. My son today, 12 times asking me, what is this? And I told him a bird, and it was so funny. I enjoyed so much, right? The father is showing his son. So he started crying, and he kissed his father's hand, and so on. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if they reach this point in your jurisdiction, right, not in a nursing home, He said, إِمَّا يَبْلُغَنَّ عِنْدَكَ, not in a nursing home, all right? Nursing home does not belong to Muslims. Yani anyone, you're gonna get old. I'm sorry, your parents get old, and you think for a second to put them in a nursing home, you really have a big problem with Allah and with your children and with yourself, right? So he said, إِنَّ بْلُغَنَّ عِنْدَكَ الْكِبْرَ, with you in the same house, right? فَلَا تَقُلْ لَهُمَا أُفٍّ. Uffin is not a word. Uffin is the expression of I'm annoyed, because they repeat themselves a lot, right? So don't go like this, harder. That's uffin, right? You cannot do that, right? How about, I can tell you things that I know that is so sad, what kids do to the parents, right? Then think a million times about this area. Number 7, where do you stand in the relationship with the house of Allah, right? You know, you guys, some of you might say, like, I'm only 19, I'm only 18, I'm only mishaf iftar. But you know what? If you develop this kind of relationship with the house of Allah, that's where the nur is. Allahu nur samawati wal ard, where is His nur is? Fi buyutin adina Allahu an turfa wa yuzkar. In these houses, that's where the nur of Allah. And the nur of Allah, where does it go? This is not that what I'm talking about. Nur of Allah, something goes to your heart that makes you see things in the right way, makes you think in the right way, makes you see you have the wisdom, makes you everything. Even wallahi, if you come between Asr and Maghrib and sit in the masjid for just 10, 15 minutes, wallahi, you get rewarded and you see the difference. Just sit down between, Asr and Maghrib, there's no salah, just sit down and astaghfirullah, 10 minutes and get up, you'll find yourself reconditioned, right? So our relationship with the house of Allah, is it the board responsibility? No. The house of Allah, we have all to be creative, right? We have all to think, what is the future? What this generation brought this masajid to the area. What is our generation is going to take this masajid to what level, right? You have to think as if like the Muslim Ummah is on your head, or the future of the community and union is your responsibility. You have to think along this line. That's when you know as a sign that your heart has tazkiyah. You have that tazkiyah. شيخ علي هكلمك بعد الدرس. نهارك فل. طيب السلام عليكم. اتفقنا. هكلمك على طول ان شاء الله. السلام عليكم. اصل ده مهم يا شيخ. طيب خلاص. طيب. يبقى check your relationship with the house of Allah. Just check it. Where do you stand? Do you really feel like, if you feel like, the masjid is lucky that I go pray every mash'arif, if that's how you think, you really need the tazkiyah. You need to take this course that Dr. Badawi will give very seriously. As I said, when Sayyidina Ibrahim made the dua and he put ta'aleem before tazkiyah, Allah corrected him and put tazkiyah before ta'aleem. Right? Right. Let us quickly look at one of the biggest problems of this society here, the Western society. As I said, we focus here on the physical comfort or physical needs, all right? That's what our main focus, right? Sheikh, what's his name, Ratib al-Nabulsi, he says, they focus on a body that is so comfortable. Give him air-conditioned car, a car that has beautiful suspension that doesn't shake, a house that is fully مشعرف heated, a mattress that is, what's the name of that? No. There's one that's expensive. ما اعرفوش. طيب خلاص هتعب نفسي. طيب فانت we focus on the comfort of the body, right? And the nafs is tense, irritated, right? I do not know if that's your experience. That's my experience with people, right? So much focusing on the body, not the nafs. And what's happening is an irritated, uncomfortable, biting your nails, nafs. And when I was little in our little town, people had no comfort whatsoever. Wallahi, I don't think we ever had a toy. Never, not one time. As a matter of fact, the doctor said that I have 3 weeks to live. Right? Don't ask me, did I die or not? Right? Because she might ask me, did you die? No. That's what the doctor said, 3 weeks to live, right? And I start seeing my parents so nice to me. So I said, I got suspicious, right? So he asked me, my father, what do you want? I said, I need a soccer ball, because I was very good with soccer, right? At that time, I was 11, right? So I said, soccer ball. And that was a dream. Soccer ball is a big deal, right? But at that time, there was some improvement in my condition, so I never got the soccer ball. Right? Here, wallahi, go to any kid, has a $500,000, مش عارف إيه. I went to visit someone, he likes bunnies, right? They have about, wallahi, over 500 different kind of bunnies in the basement. I mean, 500, maybe more, right? We never had a pet. But you know what? Wallahi was the happiest, right? We do our toys from scratch, and we have so many beautiful values at that time, right? That I do not know if you can relate to that or not, right? So materialistic things is not going to make you the happy person. You know what's going to make you a happy person is the other one, right? Think that one day you went to visit someone that's sick and you cheered her up. One of your friends that was going through difficulty and cheered her up, right? See how beautiful the feeling is that I helped her. Think of someone that was having problem with whatever it is, and you went to help. Someone was moving and he cannot afford so and so مش عارف إيه. Someone needed a lift to go to مش عارف إيه تاني. Different things that you did for Allah, right? It makes you feel so happy, right? But Sheikh Sha'rawi say one guy was asking him, how do I know if I am from the people of dunya or the people of hereafter? He told him, if a rich man come to visit you and a poor man come to visit you, the rich man, there is something that you might get from his visit. And the poor person, the chances are you're going to give him something. Which one makes you happy? If the rich man's visit makes you happy, that means you are of the dunya, people of the dunya. If the poor person, which eventually going to give him something, I just came from a visit to Egypt, and I went to visit one of my distant cousins who is poor, right? And I think she thought that for me to visit her, like Biden visit her, right? She was beside herself. Cannot believe that I visited her, right? Wallahi, that was one of the most, I can taste how happy I was because she was so happy that I went to visit her, right? It's called Jabr al-Khatir, right? I do not know how to translate it now. Inshallah, next year I will tell you what does it mean, right? But Jabr al-Khatir, when you go to someone that is poor, whatever it is, and are you upset about something? No, she's very serious. You? Yeah, that's fine. No, because she didn't smile one time for any of my jokes. So alhamdulillah that he smiled. So here guys, there's little things that you don't get paid for it. But Allah gives you payment in the dunya, which means that a pleasurable feeling in your heart, and let alone when you go in the day of judgment and see what's in your scale, right? I have a few more, but Sheikh Saeed said just half an hour and let us start a question and answer, right? So the floor is open. What?
You scared anybody to ask any question?
I scared them?
You scared them.
I scared them. I'm glad.
Awesome. Let's keep it for a long time. Who has a question?
I know for a long time. I'm very happy that you come to this community. God allow us to come and give us a lecture.
جزاك الله خير. نعم. This is now we're getting into beautiful questions, right? الروح, the electricity, right? The body is the structure of the house, الروح, the electricity, النفس, the whole thing together, right? يعني الروح, as soon as it leaves the body, right, it doesn't die, right? But the body has no electricity, it's gone, right? Actually, it loses its identity. يعني for example, when I die and I'm in the casket, no one will say, bring Fikri. They think bring the body, right? So you lose your name, you lose everything, correct? الروح is that kind of mysterious item which when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah puts it when you're 4 months in your body, in your mother's womb. And when he takes it, you're gone, right? You are no longer a whole nafs. The nafs is the whole entity. You, your behavior, your decision, your intellect, everything. That's in nafs, right? عشان كده نفس مطمئنة, right? Sometimes الروح والنفس are used interchangeably, right? يعني sometimes they are used interchangeably, but they are different, right? يعني أنت, you are نفس, right? نفس طيبة, right? We don't say روح طيبة, we say نفس طيبة, معايا؟ الروح, it just to provide you with ability to move and this and that, right? But when you start taken this and do تزكية ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها قد أفلح من زكاها وقد خاب من دثاها. النفس هي this whole of you that you can take it to a high level of whatever it is, or you can put it all the way down to become a filthy soul, right? Did I say anything that makes sense? طب الله يجزيك خير. طب the ayah that says ونفس وما سواها فألهمها فجورها وتقواها. ولا ركز معايا في الحتة دي كويسة دي. This nafs, right? The way Allah designed it, يعني for example, this phone work with electricity, right? You need electricity for this phone, right? Does it work with water? No, right? So it only goes with electricity. Can it work with gasoline? No, just electricity, right? In nafs can work both ways. In nafs, your nafs is fine to be very filthy, it's fine to be very great, right? So nafs. Who is the one that's gonna do the decisions? You. You decide what kind of nafs you want to have. Nafs mutma'inna. Mutma'inna means so comfortable with Allah's system and moving very freely and no problems. I'm so happy with being with Allah's this and that. And nafs al-lawama bis-su', the one nafs when you do something you're wrong. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do that. مش عارف ايه بتاع. This is نفس لوامة, right? That does it. And في نفس أمارة بالسوء that's so bad that she pushes you to do haram. She all the time pushes you to do haram, right? فهنا الله سبحانه وتعالى in this surah, Surah Al-Shams. By the way, I recommend to read Surah Al-Shams. It says the following. It says وَنَفْسٍ وَمَا سَوَّاهَا. The way Allah designed it. فألهمها, it's inspired. فألهمها فجورها وتقواها. Fujur means when you go out of the right path that Allah has designed for her. فألهمها فجورها وتقواها. Taqwa, we know piety or be mindful of Allah and so on. And now, who is the winner? قد أفلح من زكاها. The winner is the only one that takes it and focus on the side that wants to be good. وقد خاب من دساها, the one that takes it and put in the dirt. What is the dirt? حب الدنيا. حب الدنيا is everything that in this dunya. يعني when you say when you want to get married to a female, either her beauty, her social status, her financial status, or her deen. He said, take the one that has deen. If you take one of the other three, تربت يداك, يعني your hands are in the dirt. Why? Not because the one that is beautiful or the one that's rich or the one that has a social status is bad. No, because that is not the criteria for a good wife. A good wife, the one has deen, right? But also in the other way around, well, man, don't take a man because he has Lamborghini or he has مش عارف ايه. All this will go away, right? And then you're gonna stuck with a حمار after a while. No, focus on the way that Allah سبحانه وتعالى. نعم ما تحطهاش دي على البتاع مش شيخ هتفضحنا. طيب. all the parameters that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, He said, otherwise your hands in the dirt. Why in the dirt? Because money, after a while, you buy whatever it is and disappears, right? Beauty, I was watching the so-called top 10 superstars in the 70s, right? Marilyn Monroe, Brigitte Bardot, all the akhawat al-muhtarawat dول, right? And how do they look later on, right? SubhanAllah, يعني, they were the most beautiful. Right now, Sheikh Ismail, أنت أحلى منهم, right? But nothing lasts, صح? But what doesn't go away is the inner beauty, right? That doesn't go away. That doesn't disintegrate, right? طيب. وعند شوف التعبير القرآني وقد خاب من دساها. خاب الخيبة بقول لك جاتك 60 خيبة مش خيبة واحدة اللي هو ياخد this beautiful soul and poet what endured, right? شيخ وبلد قد كرمنا بني آدم يعني خلي عندك مخ. You do not know where you're going to live. Then take advantage of the amount of time that you are here in this dunya to do what زكاها زكاها زكاها. Ramadan exactly in 2 months, correct? And wallahi, this is the greatest camp that if you plan it right, if you plan from now and say, inshallah, this Ramadan will be turning point in my life. But in the meantime, keep saying, Allahumma balighna Ramadan. Ya Allah makes me reach Ramadan. Allahumma barik lana fi Rajab wa Sha'ban. يعني barik lana fi Rajab wa Sha'ban. يعني make me prepare myself psychologically and mentally for Ramadan and put barakah in these 2 months, Sha'ban and Rajab, in such a way when Ramadan comes in, I plug in at a very good level with the Quran, with dhikr, with istighfar, with not saying bad words, with good relationship with the parents, and all the stuff that we said. Then this Ramadan will be a great turning point in your life. Any other question? Huh? Eh?
ما شاء الله عليك.
الله يخليك عم الشيخ اسماعيل. نعم. By the way, شيخنا listen to her عشان حسنك تقول لي هي إن السماعات مش بتجيب كل حاجة. اتفضلي قولي.
No, Allah knows that already who's going to go to Jannah and who's going to hellfire. But we given the choice in this life. How this is going to be, can you explain how it will go this way?
استني أنا ريحي. أنا أروح على حد هناك. طيب قولي بقى قولي. Yeah. Yeah. طيب صلوا على النبي. Can you hear me, Amishta? طيب. You are living in 3 circles. Circle number 1 is الحلال والحرام. Right? Circle number 2, Allah's knowledge. Right? Let us focus on these 2 circles. Circle number 1, you are responsible for it, which is halal and haram. علم الله is not your business. يعني what Allah knows, don't think of it, right? Because this is not your area, right? You think Allah is like us. It's a movie. As long as I know where you're going to go, why I put you on earth. That's not a movie, right? Allah يقيم الحجة. يعني one day, every nafs in their judgment will come argue with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He said, I didn't do this. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, like, how about the angel? No, I only trust myself. You know what's going to do? He will say, okay, let your hand talk, your eyes talk, and everybody will talk and testify against you, right? So Allah could have told you, shut up, you're going to hell. You made a mistake, Allah, that's it. No, still He's going to allow you to argue in the day of judgment and defend yourself, and He will show you your performance, right? Oh, I'm sorry, who went... طيب خلاص. فأنت ركز على things that there's something that happened on you, there's something that happened in you, there's something that happened by you. The first 2 you're not questionable about. You only question about the one by you. يعني لو ألف بعد الشر لو أنت ماشية وشجرة وقعت على العربية بتاعتك واتكلتي على الله, it's not your fault. You're not questioning about that. If you get sickness, whatever it is inside you, you're not questioning about that. right? You only question about the decision that you take, and that is the area that we should focus on. We should not focus on إذا كان if ربنا if Allah knows مش عارف إيه بتاع why هو بيحاسبنا طالما everything is decreed why مش عارف إيه. No, decreed has nothing to do. Did you ever feel that someone is pushing you to do haram? No, it's your choice, right? Did anybody push you to come to the masjid? No, it's your choice, right? Correct? That is, your choices are the one that you're going to be questioned about, right? Did I make a... Yeah. No, you're not convinced yet. طب قولي.
هي دي الحته بس اللي بيبقى هم مشوشين فيها ازاي ازاي احنا بنعمل الديسيجن وازاي ربنا عامل لنا الان. It's not like ان هو عامل لنا
صلي على النبي.
هو عارف الان بتاع الاختيار انه كل حاجه يكون شريك
طيب.
قدامه.
After I retired, I started working as a teacher in Bergen Community College and so on. And wallahi, in the first 2 weeks of the year, I know who's going to get A, who's going to get B, who's going to get C, who's going to fail. Right? In 2 weeks, right? Did I give them the final exam? No, I didn't. Right? But I can tell, and I hardly was ever wrong. Wallahi, I was hardly ever wrong. Right? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is me, the human being. How about Allah, who can see through you what is going? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala يعلم خائنة الأعين. Allah knows what's in your heart before you even say it, right? But the problem is when we start thinking of Allah the way we think of ourselves. Allah is unlimited. We are limited. Allah has no beginning or end. We have a beginning and end. Allah, we have certain capacity. I only can lift, say, 50 kilos, right? The Allah have limitation. So each time we try to, that's why he said, لا تفكروا في ذات الله فتهلكوا. Don't think of the nature of Allah. You're going to ruin yourself. Because your fuses only can take small amperes. Otherwise, it will blow up, right? Any other question?
A lot of people don't know the difference. There is a creator and there is a creation. Let's forget about Allah. Now let's concentrate on ourselves as a human. We as a human, what can we create? We can make a pit. We can make a car. We can make this flat. We can make this, just like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He created human, trees, birds, fish, sky, moon. The same thing in human. You create this, you create this, you create this. No matter how smart this bottle is, they will never, ever can understand me as a creator. No matter how smart this phone, we say smartphone, doesn't matter how smart he is, they'll never think of me. He will think of me as himself. Square, black, he needs a charger. This is how the most that we can think. So we as a creation, when we want to think about Allah, we think of ourselves. How can he think? How can he see? How can he sleep? Why will he eat? Why doesn't he get married? What? You know what I mean? Because this is the best that we can do. There is the way huge gap. That's why if you want to think about Allah, this is when you are gonna go like philosophers. It leads you to Ilhad. It leads you to. So it's something that
you can see Allah through His creation. Through His creation, right? يعني you want to see how great He is. يعني I just bought, not me. My wife told me they bought birds that parakeet. That's the name. Parakeet. Yeah, one is green, one is blue, and one is yellow, and the colors are so beautiful, right? If I spend a whole day trying to color. يعني in Egypt, in the zoo, the zebra died. So the guy, the guard, is going to be fired. So he got a regular donkey and he put stripes. He kept painting the donkey.
That's a true
Huh?
story.
Yeah. And then it did rain. But the zebra became donkey, right? Again. Nobody get it? So,
True story too.
yeah. Any other question? Yeah. Ask أكتر بعدين. نعم. طيب. خلاص. طيب. ها؟
I think they are shy to ask. Remember,
Shy?
they are shy to ask.
They are shy?
I think so.
I doubt it. طيب.
الله يجزيك الخير.
جزاكم الله خير. الله يسترك عليك. الله يبارك فيك وين. قل يا عم الشيخ.